testing. Welcome everybody to another ZBrush live stream. I am Anna Carolina, your host for today, and I can hear myself. Welcome everybody. Where am I? Okay, there. Motion Bug, hello Varun, Pika Pink, hi, how are you guys? You have subbed, awesome. Well, welcome everybody. Happy Saturday. Hope everybody's doing okay. Hope everybody's having a good weekend. Rogério, hello. Hi, Mr. John. So today, I am going to be working on, first off, I'm going to be streaming in English. Normally, I flip-flop between English and Portuguese. So today I'm doing English. And I am going to be joining my fellow streamers in a little challenge that we've been doing, which is to make a jack-o'-lantern in ZBrush during our live streams. So that's gonna be pretty fun, I think. I recently did a jack-o'-lantern inspired design, but it was more like a demonic thing, like a little, more like a little demon. I'll show you guys. Let's see. I don't even remember where I saved it anymore. I think it was like when I don't even remember anymore. That's why you should be organized, unlike me. It's here. Happy to see you again. How are you? It's Ashton, welcome. My week was good. My week was definitely good. Adolfo, oi, tudo bem? Ultroid, hello. So, I'm gonna give people a little more time to filter in, and then I'm gonna introduce myself a little bit better. We are using ZBrush 2021 today. So this is the last pumpkin-inspired design I made. Today I'm going to go for a more traditional version of the jack-o'-lantern, I think. Adolfo, I already said the name, but yes. So today I'm going to go for a more traditional version of the jack-o'-lantern. But I can't decide if I'm going for like a cutesy look or a more scary look, so we're gonna find out. So let's go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and load in a sphere. And I'm going to make it a polymesh 3D so that I can do fun stuff with the topology. I'm gonna turn symmetry on, but by default, you guys know this. By default, symmetry only works on like one axis and it's not radial. So I'm gonna go here to transform and I'm gonna hit this R, which is for radial symmetry. And all of a sudden, boom, I got myself some radial symmetry like this. That makes making the life of making a pumpkin so much easier. Don't you agree? So right now it's on the wrong axis. I want it to be, I think on the Z axis. I work in so many different software at this point that like I've given up on ever knowing which one is the up axis because everyone's different. So I'm going to start taking the move brush and just kind of like create kind of like the primary form pumpkin as much as I can. Last time I did this, it looked a little bit like an apple, so we'll see how it goes. Can you guys hear me okay? I'm just flattening the tops out a little bit. I'm gonna push the top in a lot. Maybe that's too much, actually. Smooth it around. Never hurts nobody. Yeah. I hope everybody had a wonderful week and that was productive and that's fair, not stressful. Best weeks for me are the ones that are productive but not stressful, you know, you just get in that flow state and then everything's okay. My chair's all messed up today. Yes, we can perfectly listen to you. Alrighty. So without making it look too much like an apple, Try and give this pumpkin some shape here. I'm kind of want like a bigger pumpkin though, because I want to have little animals or something inside of it. It's good to add a little space. Let's see here. I'm gonna switch the channel to music. I don't know, it's a little sci-fi for me, but like sci-fi from the 80s. I think I'm not in the mood for that today. No, either. Maybe some EDM. All right. So I'm going to already from here go ahead and start subdividing it up. Maybe twice. And take the diamond standard and see just the kind of detail I get. I just go in. Gotta keep this straight though. How much does ZBrush cost? Let me look that price exactly up for you. Looks like the Pixologic site might be down right now actually. But yes, ZBrush costs $895 according to my Google search right here. And yes. So I'm trying not to make it too lumpy, you know, like how you got some lumps right there. I'm trying not to let that happen. Here, I think I'm done. This looks like a pumpkin. Yes, Pixologic site is down to that today. Yeah, it's unfortunate. It's the first time I've ever seen it be down. Boa noite, boa tarde, tudo bem? So I'm gonna just take some clay buildup and just kind of start a little volume here. Just a little bit of organicness too. Never hurt nobody, right? Then I kind of start adding more interesting shape to it. I'm gonna do like a cheap pumpkin, you know. Like that. Oi, Carolina, vou bem, tudo bem? Besides the pumpkin, what are other ways you have used the radial feature? Quick, great question. So I use the radial feature most often. Not on pumpkins. I use it on irises. Whenever I'm making the eyeball, and I want to get that really nice. Detail of the iris. Then you can just use it like, and you just kind of. You know, not that poorly, but you know, you just kind of make some really cool shapes with the iris. You know, it's really a handy tool. Shiloh, I have no idea what you're asking. I think maybe there's some malfunctioning chat. Oh yes, it's a great tip. Thanks. Let's see what else I have used radial symmetry for. Not that much actually. I just really like it for my irises. Kind of pinch just ever so slightly. Maybe make the bottoms and the tops a little bit more dramatic with the diamond standard. smooth it. I try to blend it in. Take some inflates. I'm kind of just gonna inflate the. I don't know what these are called. These parts. Actually, that doesn't look that good. You can use your feature to twist pumpkin stem. Yeah, that's a great idea. Put pattern out. How about clothing, like dresses maybe? Yeah, that would be a good idea. Like I could see a skirt being made. It would be really cool. Shiloh, are you asking can it be animated? Yes, it can be animated. Like I can export this into Maya and animate it if I want to. Alright, so kind of just gonna take the image and start adding a little bit more detail. I'm gonna make it a little bit less intense. And make it the detail most intense towards the stem here. And then fade it. Not quite as intense in the center here. And then use it to straighten out the seam. Which software do I use mostly for quick rendering or presentation? I usually, right now, I'm using a lot of just straight up ZBrush. ZBrush is a plugin right here called ZBrush to Photoshop, which is absolutely wonderful for some quick presentation if you just want to show off your sculpting. With a lot of this. Just kind of keep going on my little pumpkin here. All right, so my name is Ana Carolina Pereira. I am from Brazil. I am a professional technical artist and college professor. Very recently college professor. I just started like 2 months ago. I went to college in the United States. I lived in Texas for 7 years after I moved here from Brazil, and now I live in Florida. And I've been streaming with Pixologic for about 2 years now, too. And that is a little bit about me. Yeah, I am. I know I said I'm a technical artist, but like more specifically, I am a VR technical artist. I am specifically a VR developer. So if you have any questions about VR development, you want to get into it, you do it yourself, let me know. Let's talk about it. I do a lot of character art on my spare time though. Even though I'm a technical artist, I still like to, you know, increase my fine art skills a lot, or at least I like to try. And that's kind of what has led me to streaming ZBrush for all these years and all that good stuff. Do we have any technical artists in chat? Tell me in chat, what is your specification or what are you trying to go for? I know a lot of people that watch ZBrush streams are jewelry makers, so not even in entertainment at all. A lot of people are 3D printers make, and a lot of people with 3D printers. I just imagine a person like morphing into a printer. And a lot of people are making figures for like comic book characters or their own characters, anime characters, other things that aren't just characters. I'm just kind of trying to get the base of the pumpkin down so that I can actually start the jack-o'-lantern sculpting process sooner. Looks kind of like a garlic from the bottom. I'm gonna make my domain standard a lot thinner. I'm just gonna go over these lines again, just at the top and bottom, just to get more effect. It's possibly as good a starting place as any for this pumpkin. Can I use ZBrush for motion capture? You can use ZBrush as part of your pipeline for motion capture, from what I understand. Like, I've done it before, you know, I've done the facial facts animations. I've put them all together in ZBrush as blend shapes, and then I used motion capture in a different software. Do you do character rigging? Yes. I'm not, it's not my specialty, I must say. I've never done anything crazy with it, just the most basic ones, but, you know, still do it. Is pumpkin a vegetable? I'm sure it is. Thank you, Shiloh. Pumpkin's a fruit, tomatoes also a fruit. Switch, hi, welcome to the stream. What's the name of the program? This is ZBrush. It is leading industry software when it comes to digital sculpting. Alzarak, I'm a technical artist that works in Unity for AR/VR projects, but being honest, being a technical artist is quite challenging because both fields, art and code, move quite fast nowadays. Yeah. I do always like the fields do move so fast, but like also it's kind of the technical artist's fault that it moves so fast to a degree. Like a lot of technical artists are behind all of those updates, you know. But yeah, being a technical artist is hard. Can I get your video tutorial? I don't have a video tutorial yet. I'm a game dev, so I don't know about sculpting. I'm a game dev too, but I do know. It's very doable to do both. All right. So now I'm gonna block in the stem. So I'm just going to, I think I'm just gonna use the brush insert primitives. This one, and I'm just gonna try to get it at the center. Oh yeah, multiple subdivisions. I'm just gonna append in a sphere. Call it a day here. Let's use the snake hook, which is our best friend. Oh, and the symmetry must be on. And let's go ahead and turn on radial symmetry again. Not Z plug. Transform R. Oh, it's completely different. Perfect. Have you ever seen more beauty and more grace? Alright, let's go ahead and subdivide this bad boy up. I'm just gonna kind of pull it here, like, towards the, what do you call these, the crevices here? I know it looks funky, but it'll look better in a little bit of practice. Actually, I shouldn't be making promises like that, because I don't know. Trim dynamic, let's see. Just flatten out the top here. Some root brush to make it less bulbous, I guess. This feels like it needs some dynameshing. It's so huge. Oh my god. I'm gonna delete lower and I'm going to brush, trim curve thing. You can't see it, but I'm cutting off some of that mesh. So it looks like this. It's not totally smeshcore anymore, though. Okay, so let's dynamesh this bad boy. Kind of just gonna make it a little bit more. Alright, it looks slightly more like a pumpkin, right? It doesn't look quite as much like an apple anymore. Anna, when you're not streaming, do you use a custom UI? Yes, I used to. Actually, the answer is no. I used to, but then I just got used to the basic interface after streaming for so many years. I love how efficiently you establish the forms here. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. I like to keep it clean at the very beginning. I missed so much chats. I'm also a technical artist and educator. Mr. John, fantastic. Oh my god, we're like twins, right? Technical artist educators. I want a picture that looks realistic. This nugget. Will so many text artists here. Scott. Hey, and I'm just wondering if you know any way to make reflection in ZBrush. I'm trying to reflect a character into a mirror. Oh man, Scott Pappy. The only way I can think of is to like use one of these materials that have reflection already, so it has like a reflected map. And then there's gotta be a way in here to change the map that you're using. There's gotta be, right? I'm just assuming that there is. But then you could use, maybe like a screenshot of the reversed image of your model or something as the reflection map, that material. I would have to do a lot of research and trial before I can tell you for sure, though. This is something nice to come to while recovering from the flu. Oh, Moonswitch. I'm glad you're recovering. This is great increasing. Are there a lot of game companies in Florida? You know what? If I'm gonna be completely honest, I haven't done too much research. I know that there's a lot of VR game companies and or not a lot, but like some VR game companies and some game companies. I believe the people who make Baldur's Gate are here in Florida, and a few others too. We'll see. I haven't actually done my research. I just kind of moved here and started working. So, how did you isolate a subtool? Right here in the ZBrush UI, there's a button called Dynamic. It says Dynamic Solo on it, and it has 3 circles. And then if you hover over it, it says Solo Mode. So if you click Solo Mode, then the whatever subtool you have selected will be solo now. Adding Sculpting, thanks for the advice. Sculpting, like I'd be really curious, like if you ever figure it out in ZBrush, can you like let me know so that I know that it's possible and doable and stuff? I'd love to know. Whenever I've come to find now that like students will come to me, right, with questions now that I'm a teacher, and not always, I won't always know the answer, and we'll do the research and we'll try to figure it out. But like I get really curious about the answers. Like I'm like, even if I'm not there when you figure it out, like please let me know the answer so that I can memorize it. So next time somebody asks me, I can tell them the right answer. So I'm starting to bring that over into my streaming methods too. Kind of just taking the same standard with the brush alpha on it, kind of just intensifying some of these crevices here. Kind of trying to focus my detailing right now to the tops, bottoms, and crevices. Making the brush larger. Whenever I'm doing this, I'm trying to not go at an angle too much. Like it's got to be relatively up and down. You know, I got an error here. I have no idea when that happened. It was like some sort of issue with the brush, I think. I think I went a little bit too crazy. Let's go back in history a little bit, and I'm gonna lower my intensity even more again. Okay. So one thing I want to do today is to use VDM brushes to create detailing VDMs for this pumpkin. Like, you know how pumpkins have warts? I want to make warts via POVDM brushes and stuff like that. Smooth, smooth, smooth. Focusing on the center. Smooth, 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 smooth. Not perfect, but it's a start. Will all sides be the same size? No. Basically what I'm doing is creating a base for my sculpting. Like, we will not leave it at like this. That's for sure. Why ZBrush? ZBrush is the leading standards digital sculpting. I don't think there's, like, this might sound biased, but I 100% don't think that there is a better alternative out there yet, like, that anybody has created. Nice choice in music. Imagine sculpting this pumpkin in VR. You know, I have this like weird thing. Like, I'm a VR developer. I've been in VR for 6 years, 5 years now, and like I hate sculpting in VR. I'm like, I do enough of that already all the time. Might as well just skip this sculpting. Um, is there a shortcut to the solo mode? I'm not totally sure. Maybe. There's like so many shortcuts. I'm sure you could find one or make one. Okay, so I'm gonna start sculpting in the face, my pumpkin, and I'm not totally sure about the design yet, but I know that I don't need radial symmetry. I'm just gonna do X symmetry. What I'm gonna do is I'm going to use my pen mask pen brush, and I'm going to mask and kind of like draw in the face, and then I'm gonna delete everything that's masked. So let's try my best here to get some sort of interesting face design going. The thing about mask is that it's really easy to like edit. You can just invert the mask and just kind of, you know, refine it if you want. I'm thinking like a cute, like, is this like a uwu face? Ooh. See how I like accidentally switched to an alpha for a second there? What software do you use to sculpt in VR? Oh, I don't. I play games in VR, but never sculpting, honestly. It's really hard on my eyes. VR is a little bit hard on your eyes, I'm not gonna lie. Can't wait for the technology to become more advanced or something. Maybe little teeth. Ooh, cute. And first, always invert the mask and go in and like refine things. Make the mask a little bit more crisp, you know, too. Adding some like teeth. Not like it's a different than normal ubu face. I think it was cuter when it was slightly softer. Maybe if I give it like a upturned bottom eyelid. Does that look creepy to you? I think that's better that way, actually. Maybe if I just straighten this out. If you can always make harder edges by just inverting the mask and just kind of like painting the corners to be a little bit harder from the outside. Maybe if I add like, oh, that might be too creepy. I'm not sure it's creepy at all, actually. It's turning out cute, but kind of like I was between creepy or cute, so I'm not unhappy with the results. What do you guys think? I think I made this inner thingy here. Let's get rid of it for right now. Oh, I missed so much chance. I play video games VR, but never sculpting. A few people came as soon as they saw me. Which graphics tablet are you using? Just a simple Intuos tablet, size medium. The one without a screen. Bom dia, boa tarde. O ZBrush possui alguma ferramenta para medir objetos em escala real? Acho que sim. Eu acho que no Z-Plugin tem um negócio chamado Scale Master, que dá pra você medir várias coisas. How can I make cubicle symmetry inside ZBrush? I think you could use radial symmetry like I was showing before. This button here, radial symmetry, R. If you turn it to 4 count, then you probably could pull off cubicle symmetry. Is sculpting VR only used for VR applications, or could you sculpt in VR and use it for normal games? Are there any advantages to sculpting in VR? You can sculpt in VR and use it for normal games. You basically get to export a normal FPX like you would from any place. I don't think there are any advantages to sculpting in VR besides maybe having fun if you are the kind of person who has fun with that. So I'm going to go to... I forget where I go for this, the hide hidden or hide masked. I forgot, I will find it. Delete hidden is right here. Oh, surface maybe? No. One second, guys. I've done this 1,000 times. I've done it for like a demo before 1,000 times too. I'm just forgetting how to delete or hide masked. Embarrassing. Pancakes, thanks for stopping by. Can I learn ZBrush without a tablet? There's nothing stopping you from learning ZBrush without a tablet. The thing is that ZBrush is best used with pressure sensitivity, so I don't recommend sculpting without a tablet. But if you can't afford a tablet right now, like, honestly, don't let that be what stops you, you know? Let me just search for that ZBrush. 1, 2, 5. All the websites are down, but I can still just go ahead and Control W this so that I have 2 different polygroups. I'm going to select this polygroup, so now I kind of have like a hole, but it's not really a hole. So I'm gonna say delete hidden. Only while the low subdivision is active. That's okay. I'm gonna delete lower, and then I'm going to delete hidden. Alright, so now I have this pumpkin started. Actually, this is a pro tip for you guys. You see how right now it's completely flat? It's just a single plane kind of thing, polygon going on. There's no thickness to it, is what I'm trying to say. So what you can do is you can go to Dynamic Subdivision, turn on Dynamic Subdivision. I'm actually going to turn off the Smooth Subdivision, and then I'm going to put in some dynamic thickness. And that should give me some more interesting thickness to work with. That's a bit too much. What looks right to you guys for a pumpkin? Maybe that. pumpkin face. Alright, so now we have that. I'm gonna check the topology here. It looks like we have some stretched polys. Maybe if I up the segments here, it will not be so stretched and horrible. Cool thing is that now everything is different polygroups. So I can actually like use different masking methods to not make this all muddy. Hey Ashley! How are you? Long time no see or talk to. I'm making a little pumpkin. Too thick, too thick. I'm gonna just leave it as it was. Mouth looks cool. Thank you, Mr. Noble. You're so long, I love it. Thank you, Ashley. How have you been? Alright, so before I accept this, I'm going to actually duplicate it. Then I'm going to accept this dynamic thickness, and then I'm going to ZBrush it. So let's go get to it, shall we? I'm going to go to Geometry, Dynamic, Apply, and that will apply it officially. So now I'm going to ZBrush so that I can actually work with this a little bit easier. Keep groups is something I definitely want. I want to keep these groups separate so that I can, you know, draw on the inside if I want to, draw on the outside only if I want to. So I'm going to go and ZBrush, see what happens. Fingers crossed. What the Haji? It's good missing you. Missing you too. So it's loading right now. If you guys have any questions for me, let me know. This is a great time to just chat with you guys. Oh, ZBrushing error encountered. ZBrushing aborted. Let's see what's going on. Maybe it's the keep groups. Let's see. So, anybody working on anything interesting in ZBrush today? My least favorite part of the ZBrush interface, I'm literally looking at it. So this is like super, like just, it's my brain. So whenever I see big lists like this, specifically the one under tool, and I'm looking for a specific thing like deformation, it takes me forever to find it because I keep skipping the right one. Like this is just how my brain, like it's not ZBrush's fault. It's just like I always skip the right one. Always. Are you gonna clean up the geometry of the edge of the mouth or leave the current geometry? By that I mean the inside edge. I'm trying to clean it up right now. But there's something wrong with there's something a little bit wrong with my model, which is stopping the ZBrush process. So we'll see how it goes. If it doesn't work out, we're gonna dynamesh it, and then it's gonna be a little messy. But you know what? That's the beauty of this, is that it doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be a pumpkin. And my favorite part of the ZBrush interface is I think the fact that it shows me what brush I'm using and which which alpha, and also like when I get to press space bar down, I get the oh, that doesn't look perfect. I get the options from my brush. I think pressing down spacebar is my favorite part of the UI interface. Are you gonna clean up the geometry? You already read that one. What one are you looking for? I'm not looking for anything right now. Doing hard surface modeling. Can you go into it? Can you show me my request? Go into it what? How do you pick your personal projects? Something that you want to learn or whatever you feel at the time? I try to go for both. Like, it has to be something productive that will teach me something and also something that I'm interested in. And honestly, anything you're interested in and like that you're in the mood for is worth doing. And you can just find a way to infuse learning into it, you know. Alright, this ZBrushing isn't working for this big boy today. Maybe it's because I was using dynamic subdivision before. Let me see what happens if I make polymesh 3D with this and then try to ZBrush it. Guys, sorry about my experimenting here. I'm gonna try one more time, and if it doesn't work, we're just gonna dynamesh. But yeah, anything can be a learning opportunity. How do you manage the balance between realistic and fictional? I guess everything depends on the project, the prompts, what you're trying to accomplish, right? And all that good stuff. Hey, it works when I make Polymesh 3D, except I went a little bit too crazy with it. Let's say 25. I don't actually care if it's low poly, I just want it to be cleaner topology. So right now we have 4 million. So I will add color to it towards the end of the stream today. You're waiting on a tablet to be shipped to you before you begin ZBrush again. Mouse and keyboard isn't worth it. Yeah, mouse and keyboard is very not the proper tools to use ZBrush with. Well, I always mess up when using photo reference. I think that might be just a lack of observational knowledge. Like, did it work? Okay, did it work? Yay! So cute. And smoothing that out and like kind of adding a natural bevel to it, which is also very cute. I like that. I will spend more time smoothing out the inside of the mouth here and later. I'm gonna go ahead and reappend this to my original project and also get rid of one of these. So delete, goodbye, append, and let's take my Polymesh 3D. There we go. It's a very jolly pumpkin. I don't think the proportions are right. I think like the face needs to be a little bit more pudgy. And the best part is that it kept the polygroups, so I can actually like paint it later and stuff based on polygroups. Let's go ahead and clean the inside of the mouth here. Trying to not affect the edges too much. Oh, one thing I could do for this is actually like just separate it. I should use a smooth stronger for this. And I continue with the wrong brush here. Martin, how are you? Welcome to the stream. Different movie brought to the music beat. Yeah, when I'm sculpting all the time. Will the pumpkin have a candle emitting light or a glow? I think it's gonna be like a magical glow. A magical glow. Unexplained by nature. And I can take the and stand and kind of just... I think I gotta fix this area here, that little wall on the eye. Smooth direction. I'm great, and you have to got back to sculpting after a few weeks. Nice, Martin. I am doing good. Just taking it one day at a time. Oh, my volume is low? I can fix that. Sound settings. Also, my microphone is super far away from me. That probably does not help. Is that better? Did that change anything? I have no idea if that changed. No, that didn't change anything. Testing. Testing. Microphone is just closer to me now. There is no other changes I can make right now. It's all set to 100. Como está? Bem, e você? Qual foi o primeiro personagem que você criou? Ai, é difícil saber. Foi quando eu era criancinha, sabe? Is this going to be part of the greater scene or just working on the jack-o'-lantern? It's going to be part of a greater scene. Speaking of which, let's block that out now, shall we? I'm going to go ahead and add the floor. I'm going to append just a nice little sphere, or plane actually is what I want. Terrain 3D. I've never tried a terrain 3D. It's a little bit too curvy for me. Depends. Why am I not seeing just the plane? There we go. Go ahead and get that going. 90 degrees angle. Perfect. Gonna put it under this pumpkin. Kind of gonna sculpt it up a little bit in places with symmetry off, you know, just kind of add a little bit of groundy relief to it. Nothing big deal so far, like we don't have to take it super far right now. It's just a block out, right? So, here's something cool. You can actually do I'm gonna do a transparency fade off here. The way I'm gonna do it is I'm gonna first check the UV map. I'm gonna say morph UV just to see if there's a UV map. Seems to be. It's kind of weird UV map, but okay. I'm going to paint it black. Color fill object. Then I'm gonna paint it with whites towards the center. Make sure that there's a fade. Kind of like that. And basically I'm going to use this to create an alpha map, but within ZBrush. Alright, so then I'm going to texture map create from poly paints. Then I'm going to say transparent. Yes. And it's like not perfect or anything right now, but you know, it's a little preview of what it can look like. So I think I need more whites on it for it to be a little bit bigger space. I'm gonna take that off, texture off, paint more white. More whiteness. And also make the plane itself bigger. Bigger plane. Actually, I should have just done that, so let's see. Extra one. Yeah, now I can just move it around if I want to. I'm gonna add a little fiber mesh for like some grass or something. Now let's make the Joe Mark. Greetings from ZBrush user group Filipinos. That's so cool. Welcome. I bought a Wacom 13 HD. I'm just waiting for it to be delivered. Do you think I made a good choice? I've never used it, but I'm sure it'll be good. Like, Wacoms don't really let me down, ever. Mike, hi, you popped in my recommendations. What you doing? Hey, Mike, I am making a jack-o'-lantern as part of the jack-o'-lanterns challenge we have going on right now with ZBrush streamers, I believe. I'm just gonna add a little grass around here. So I'm gonna kind of select mask the area. I'm gonna go to fiber mesh, line box fibers. I'm going to select the one that looks like grass. Which one looks like grass to you guys? Tall weeds could work. Oh, those are very tall. Those are very tall, but you know what? We can fix them. Modifiers. So length. Let's take these bad boys down a peg. Max fibers. Let's take that down a peg. Whoop, too much, too much. I'm gonna make it more width a little bit. Alright, then I'm gonna accept. This is of course just part of the blockouts. It's not gonna look like this forever. Kinda. To be like taller in the back, shorter in front. And I definitely don't want any of it to be inside the pumpkin, right? You're just having a good time. This pumpkin is vibing. Remove, remove, remove. Can you paint this yet? I will in a little bit. It's not yet. I hear this music and imagine little characters dancing circles around the jack-o'-lantern. Oh, you know, I was thinking about adding a little bunny inside, so I might do that. Do you use ZBrush for creating hard-to-fit assets, or do you still find it easier to do that in Maya or Max? I do a little bit of both, but I use Moto instead of Maya, which I want to switch to Maya, so I'm going to do that soon. Shiloh, the best animation app, I think is probably a personal decision for each person. Straight pumpkin vibes in here. Look at how happy that pumpkin is, though. So the question is, okay, I've been streaming for 1 hour. Exactly 1 hour. Do I want to spend time blocking out the bunny inside, or do I want to spend time improving the pumpkin? I think bunny inside. I wanted to do like a cute little bunny, just a really simple, cute little bunny, like a black and white or something. Let's do it. Append the sphere so that we can begin. Actually, no. I am changing my mind. Let's keep polishing the pumpkin just a little bit. Alright, yeah. All I did to do the grass was fiber mesh, and it was like presets. How did you make the plants? It's just a preset fiber mesh. So you go here to fiber mesh, you go to Lightbox fibers, and I just selected tall weeds here. Literally, that was it. And then I just changed the length and a few other things. Super easy. It's a very strange song. I'm gonna go ahead and just add a quick color just to try it out. Okay, so I'm gonna go to the paint brush here. It's literally called paint and it's a brush. I'm just gonna select, I guess this sounds good to me, fill objects. And for the inside, I'm going to do yellow or black. One, two. Color fill objects. And same thing for the borders, color fill object. See the importance now of the polygroups though? Gonna go ahead and take the stem and fill that with a color. Like a very muted grayish green would be nice. Like that. Color fill objects. Oh no, I had the wrong one selected. Color fill objects. Oh, let me go ahead and share my links with you guys so you can follow me and get that stuff going. It's loading. D Schroeder, thank you so much for the follow. Alright, let me go ahead and put this in the chats. Restream should share this around to all other chats. I just posted my social media links for Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram on our station, and also my Discord server, where a bunch of artists get together. Like every day, we network, we share tips, tricks, tutorials, resources, all about ZBrush and other 3D things, and we give critiques and all that good stuff. If you are interested in my arts or my streaming, then make sure to follow me on social media so that you can get updated every time I go live. And I stream on my own personal channel every single Sunday at 5 p.m. Central Time, streaming ZBrush every Sunday, like literally, and it's really fun. So make sure to join. Anna Carolina Art, the links are in the chat. Oh my god, hold on, there are herds of bunnies? Is the pumpkin a subtool so you can isolate it to work on it? Yes. Inglês praticamente esse sotaque interessante. Obrigada, Spectro. Eu moro em lugares que eu falo inglês há muito tempo. You have your own channel that you stream on? Yes, I posted the links just now. And become a member of family? Yes, you can come to our stream and become a member of the family. Guys, can you give me 1 second? I'll be right back, alright? In like 1 minute. I will be right back. going away is so difficult. Well, hello. I almost said welcome back, and I'm like, I'm the one who left. Am I welcoming myself? I'm back. Hello, hello. Let me see if I missed any chats. Make a YouTube channel. I have a YouTube channel. I just didn't add it to this list, but if you want, I can post that too. Why not? Do not have Twitter. Yes, I live in Farmington, Kirkland, area of NM, New Mexico. Anywhere there's a flat, soft soil on the countryside, so you can find rabbits. Most of the time, you find them squatting in a bush. I want to do a bunny so much. Of course, I'm sure you heard the phrase "multiplying like rabbits." So many rabbits are kept both as pets and often hunted out here. Personally, I'd rather have them as a pet. I would like to have a bunny as a pet. Honestly, just more pets, I think, generally, is what I want. Generally, more animals. Okay, so I'm going to real fast just hide the ground, hide this, and let's go ahead and get the bunny going. So I'm just gonna append a new subtool, Sphere 3D. Gonna select it and go ahead and move it up. It's gonna be super simple. Like I have this very precise image in my head of exactly what I want this bunny to look like. And it's probably gonna be the most stylized thing I've ever done. So let's see if it works out. I'm not a big stylized buff, you know, so. But I want it to like almost be flat, like a 2D drawing. And I don't mean that as in like the shader to be flat. I just want it to be flat. So I think it's going to be relatively easy to block out unless like I surprise myself with overcomplicating things. It's not over, the stream's still going. I'm gonna go ahead and just drag this out as the body. Control W, that's a little bun body here. I'm not even looking at a reference of bunny, like I know exactly what I want, and it's not a good bunny. I just want a cute, stylized thing that is like mildly reminiscent of a rabbit. Sanjili, how are you? Boa tarde. I don't know if I want... Okay, so I'm gonna do two different kinds of eyes and see what I like. I have two eyes in mind. I should have drawn it out beforehand, but you know what? Everything's fine. So I want to do either like really beady black eyes that are shiny and with like eyelids that are 3D, or I just want to do like a straight up like almost like a drawing of a circle on the head. I'll try both. Both have the potential to be adorable or a nightmare. And by nightmare I don't mean nightmare to create, just like a nightmare to just look at. I was not joking when I said I just wanted to be like reminiscent of a rabbit. Actually, I should probably use two brushes for this. How's the scales tutorial going? Oh, really good, actually. Like, it's kind of becoming more than that. Yeah. You'll see it soon. It might not come out on my YouTube channel, is all I can say, but it will definitely come out. Odon, this is stylized. So it doesn't have to be anatomically correct, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to create an exact replica of a bunny. It's gotta be cute. The only real requirement here. I'm just gonna scope on it a little bit. Oh, I forgot the tail. How could I forget such an important thing? What is a bunny without a tail, after all? One of the most iconic parts of the bunny. Huge big pumpkin, small rabbits. It's a stuffed toy version of a rabbit. Cute. Yes, that's kind of what I'm going for, but it's supposed to be like a real bunny, but like not one that would exist, you know? Hello, Harry. When it comes to sculpting portraits or character likeness, is there a certain focal distance FOV that you should use to be more accurate? Quicks, I can't tell you the exact number. I can tell you that you should not use orthographic. The way I personally do it, and I'm not a pro specific for character portraiture or anything. But the way I do it is I research what it looks like the view, the camera that I'm looking at. Okay, let's take a step back. So basically, when you gather reference, all the reference, if it's a photograph, it's 100. It has perspective to it. So I try to match my ZBrush perspective to the perspective of the photograph I'm looking at. Because that way I know that when I'm making my adjustments, I'm being very accurate to my reference. That's the first way I use perspective. The second way is that since I work for making games and VR experiences, I know the final FOV of my game and whatnot. So I use that as well because it's really important that you see exactly how your perspective is going to look in the final product while in ZBrush, because otherwise you might get a horrible, horrible, horrible shock. I just do a bun bun. If you use move topological, you only move one part of the, like only one poly group, as opposed to move, which will move everything. That's a pro tip for you guys. So if I want to just edit the little arms here, I can just use move topological. Gotta take some pinch, just pinch these little arms. I said that I forgot the tail, and then I forgot it again. Alright, insert primitives, till tail. Let's go ahead and take maybe like the spiral brush. Soft concrete brush. I'm pretty sure I just don't know the short code for spiral. Let's take a look at it. Spiral SB. Brush SB. Okay, let me try my first shape of eye. So I'm gonna take the insert mesh brush again, insert primitives, I mean. I'm just gonna do this maybe like half circle here. And then I'm going to make that super flat. It's kind of funny. I'm gonna push it in closer towards the eye. And then I'm going to make sure that this is a new group. And then I'm going to copy it, make it smaller. It's so funny. Try to center it on there. Maybe some coloring might be useful. So I'm going to take the paintbrush again. I'm going to take maybe like a grayish color. Fill objects. Maybe a little darker. Color, fill objects. And I'm going to kind of separate out. Oh, whoopsie. These are the same subtool, which is exactly what I was trying not to do. And I'm going to take whites. I'm just going to make these into a separate subtool right now. Put it hidden. Then I'm going to do polygroups, auto groups. Let's see how that looks. That's the first little eyes I wanted to do to try. Maybe I should do the little tail. I also wanted to do go ahead and I'm gonna make these symmetrical again. Whoops. Polygroup wise. I'm gonna take these and duplicate them. Oops. Sorry guys. Make them a little bit smaller. Keep them white. I'm gonna make them into a new polygroup. I'm actually gonna take the old one and I'm gonna fill them with the dark color. And then the body, I'm actually gonna make it grayish. Let's see if that works at all. I'm gonna merge the eyes and the bunny. So I'm gonna say merge down. And then I'm gonna duplicate it, hide to original. I'm basically just gonna use this one as a kind of like a placeholder bunny. And I want it to be like inside here. I'm just gonna change the gizmo a little bit, straighten it out. Maybe like the bunny should be there. It kind of looks like a Pokemon, you know? What Pokemon does this look like? The one of the Eevee evolutions, the dark one? You know what I mean? How did I create the grass behind the pumpkin? It was just fiber mesh, so I just went to fiber mesh, lightbox fibers, then I selected tall weeds, and then I just messed with the settings a little bit to make it a little shorter and a little thicker. I tend to turn perspective on and off when I'm sculpting from reference. Is that recommendable? I do that myself, so it's never done me wrong, as far as I know. Forget the pumpkin, the bunny's the star of the show here. Huge pumpkin, small head. Como você está? Eu tô bem, de Forever Jenny. Why does my brush have strange lines? That is just, I think, a GPU error. When I'm looking at ZBrush, it looks fine, but on the stream, it actually looks bad. So I think it's just a streaming thing. Ana, recentemente comprei uma mesa digitalizadora para estudar. Você recomenda alguma configuração para trabalhar com ela no ZBrush? Eu só uso as configurações normais mesmo. Douglas, boa tarde. Umbreon, yes, that's the one I am talking about. Halloween still. Let's turn the ground back on and stuff. See what we're looking at, what we're dealing with here. The bunny needs to get a little bit more fleshed out, but we can do that in a little bit. Oh. If you gave the bunny a name, what would you call it? My friend here has 2 rabbits named Donut and Cream. Is there in their last litter they had 2 babies named Caffeine and Sugar? Aw, so cute. What would I name? Guys, you choose for me what I would name this bunny. Let's name him as a community, or her. Genderless bunny. This bunny does not need a gender. In a cruel plot twist, the pumpkin's actually eating the bunny. Dun dun dun. He looks terrifying. Mario, hola. Okay, let's work on the stem, which is like my favorite parts. It was also my favorite part when I worked on this dude right here. Pumpkin dog from a few weeks ago. I liked Pumpkin Dog. Pumpkin Dog should make a comeback. Even though I really like this pumpkin, it's a little derivative from my reference pictures, so I need to spend some time to like make it look more unique, you know? Let's work on that stem. Maybe that will be what makes it more unique. I'm trying to think of like a short stem, a long stem. Let's find out. Oop. For one, I don't want RGB here. Maybe like a cool spiral stem. Oh, too much. That one actually kind of looks kind of cool. But the thing is that I don't want to break symmetry yet. I'm not ready yet. So let's go ahead and divide the stem up a little bit. I don't care about the super messed up geometry right now. And turn symmetry on. So now we still have radial symmetry. Let's actually do what somebody else suggested. Just try to use radial symmetry to make this dude a little bit twisty. Whoa, too strong, too strong. Basically, I want to get some detailing done on this thing before I put it in crazy shapes so I can still use radial symmetry on it. Oreo is a good name. He does look like an Oreo bunny, doesn't he? The eye makes him Oreo-ish. Mario, gracias. Chocolate Easter bunny. White rabbit, white rabbit. Rabbit inside the pumpkin is the name. This bunny reminds me of the Shaun the Sheep art style. Oh my god, yes. Oh, I'm so happy that you brought that up. Now that you said it, I used to love Shaun the Sheep, like back when I was a girl. Back when I was a girl, you know what I mean? I agree, Oreo is a good name. My first thoughts were Ash and Cole. The bunny should be called Pumpkin. Honestly, only amazing suggestions. 10 out of 10. I'm gonna just push the twist with my move brush here. Let's twist it up, you know. I'm gonna take the blob brush. I've been trying to get the blob brush to do the work for me when it comes to like a lot of this pumpkiness. Pumpkins are lumpy, you know, like they're a lumpy thing. I know it's too radial right now, and it will get better, I promise. But look at how much work that did for me just now. Like, no effort at all. Best effort 3, understand a little now. Make a white rabbit inside the pumpkin. Oh, so the thing is that I wanted the pumpkin to be glowing inside, so like I thought that I actually almost made this bunny black and white, which still might be what I want to do, I'm not sure, but I thought that with the white glow it would kind of clash with the bunny. Let's blob it up some more. But without symmetry on, I guess. Blob up the top here. Maybe take some semi-standard with that nice little alpha on it. Let's see what comes out when we detail this thing. Like, I kind of want there to be a style clash. Like, I want the pumpkins to be realistic and the bunny to be, like, absolutely stylized. Just no questions about it. I don't know if that will look cute, but I am hoping it will. I just pull this here, you know, just kind of get it merged in with the pumpkin a little bit. Go from a different angle. Make sure it's not too straight of a line here. I love the stem. The stem is my favorite part. You can't convince me otherwise. It's my masterpiece. Let's do the blob again. Just kind of gonna... Sometimes the blob goes in, sometimes it comes out. Like, I'm not sure I 100% understand how to use the blob brush to the best of its potential. That might take a YouTube... might take a look at YouTube later. Let's see. Alright, there's the stem. So I'm going to take off symmetry and start playing with it again. So maybe the snake hook first. No, spiral. Let's take the spiral brush and see what it does on its own. I'm going to go ahead and mask out the bottom part here. So that we don't spiral out of control, you know? I'm going to do it from the front so that I can get cooler results. That's kind of cute. Maybe if I spiral the bottom, but like in the opposite direction. Yeah, I love that. Let's call him Pumpkin Oreo. That's the bunny's name. I think a lot of people said, no wait, actually a lot of people said Oreo. So let's just say Oreo. Renato, olá, tudo bem? Let's see what else. Let's go ahead and just detail the pumpkin a little bit. Like maybe mess it up a little bit, you know. Take a little bit of Damien Standard and blob to the face. You gotta take a blob to the face, pumpkin. I like that, just like break things up, you know, a little bit. Because blob, like, that's, I think it's the perfect brush for a pumpkin, you know, like pumpkins are kind of warty. That's what they are. Most pumpkins, anyway. Some pumpkins, anyway. I could just keep correcting myself, like, it's pumpkins. No, definitely, I have seen a few pumpkins that were warty. Probably shouldn't have symmetry on. Let me take it off. I should be doing this in a layer, by the way. That would have been the smart way to do this. In fact, there's still time. I'm gonna lay the layer started here. Last layer. Oh, this is the best name. For VR characters, what are the differences between normal game characters? Are the same texture maps being used for PBR shaders? What's the max poly count for VR characters? So there are no specific numbers like that. Like, it depends on the platform you're shipping out to. You know, different VR platforms have different limitations and requirements. Different games and experiences will have different limitations and requirements, and that's simply because you got to think about the big picture, right? Like, if your game has like wide open vistas, super detailed environments and stuff, then you'll probably have a different poly count, max poly count for your characters than if it was just a black room with just a character in it, right? So there's that. I would say that it's almost all the same, except you can't rely on normal maps for as much as you could in games. In like PC games and PC experiences, PlayStation, all that stuff, normal maps don't really cut it in VR. So that's one of the main differences, is that you gotta account for that when you're sculpting, when you're retopping, when you're baking. Just kind of like throwing a few like to break up the lines here. I think that's kind of cute. It's too much though. Like, the face needs to stay cute. I need to break it up on the other parts. You know what this song reminds me of? Beat Saber. All of a sudden I want to play Beat Saber. And turn on intensity a little bit. It's a little bit strong, difficult to handle. Gonna take some damage standard again with the little marks on them. Just kind of reinforce some of this, make the focal shift even higher so that I only get the middle one being the main one that affects things. Well, thanks for the VR info. I've always wondered about that. Do you work in VR? Like, I gotta say, like, VR is not that different from games, from all, I guess, I shouldn't say games, because you can do games in VR, from, like, other platforms. The thing is that they tend to have more limitations, and more, guidelines. Because, you know, there's the age-old, you might make your users faint, pass out, get headaches. You just might ruin their day in VR. So you gotta be really mindful of the guidelines and the rules. But the thing is that the industry is so young in the first place that, like, the rules change every day, you know? I'm gonna take the Damon Standard and let me look up some reference of a jack-o'-lantern here. and see how things look from how the inside of the map is sculpted. It's hard to see with the lights on. I'm gonna search for pumpkin carving. Ha. It just kind of looks like inside of a fruit, honestly. I'm just gonna take the Diamond Standard and kind of just make some more flaws in there. And also smooth out. It's not too crazy. I'm gonna take the normal alpha on the Diamond Standard and just kind of reinforce these lines and stuff coming down the pumpkin here. Just reinforce it a little bit, make it a little stronger. Gonna smooth this area out. It's a little much for me. You have to rely more on displacement maps for VR, and parallax maps, yes. Although I always avoid them because honestly that stuff is expensive anyway. Like I have found in my research and my experience that actually being more generous with your poly count instead of using heavier maps is actually better for performance. Which is counterintuitive, I know. The company talks about VR a few years ago. I'm not sure if we'll ever go in that direction, but it's good to get as much info in it, just in case. I think VR is very unpolished right now. Most games feel like indie games, except for a few. Beat Saber, Half-Life Alyx. Can't wait for the future of VR, though. I even feel like Beat Saber is a VR indie game, you know? Half-Life Alyx is a masterpiece. Hi, Havad. How are you? Aninha, tudo bem? How could you thicken it inwards without changing the outside at all? So I showed this at the beginning of the stream, but I can show it again. Just one more time. So imagine that this is the pumpkin, okay? I'm gonna divide it up a few times. My voice is like liking this. I'm gonna divide it up a few times. Then I'm going to create a mask. So let's say this is my pumpkin face. Okay. Then I'm going to turn on polyframe, and I'm actually going to press Ctrl W so that the mask becomes its own poly group. And then I'm going to Ctrl Shift click the stuff outside of the mask because I want it to create this like these gaping holes here. All right, just so we see that the outside didn't change. I'm going to add some Damien standard stuff to it. La, la, la. Okay. So now I'm going to go to geometry. I'm already in geometry. Modify topology, delete hidden. Oh, I'm gonna delete lower and then delete hidden. Boom. So now this is the only topology I have. I've completely gotten rid of what was inside the eyes and mouth before. So now I can go here into dynamic subdivision, click dynamic. I'm actually gonna say smooth division to 0, but then I'm gonna say thickness. Yay. It's kind of how I did the pumpkin. It also look relatively the same on the outside. And you can change the offset here so that if you don't want the outside to get bigger, you can just mess with the offset. Then you can just apply it and then boom, you got it. This is creepier than my pumpkin. Wow. My pumpkin's not creepy at all though. Got it? Martin, I really think that VR is the future of entertainment with great and affordable VR headsets coming out like the Quest 2. I really think they'll be mainstream in less than a decade. Hopefully it's more mainstream. I don't know if it's the future of entertainment, but I think it's definitely one of the futures of entertainment. Checking it out, checking it out. I should have made the ground a color before I so promptly made it transparent. We can fix that. Let's make some rocks or something to put around here. What do you guys think? Or maybe like tinier pumpkins. Tinier pumpkins! Tinier pumpkins. Let's do it. Let's do it. I'm just gonna take the same pumpkin and then rotate it 360. Actually, not 360 because that would just turn it back around. 180. Duplicates this pumpkin. Oh, and also the stem. And then duplicate that. Take it down a little bit. Merge down. Okay. Ah. That was because of layers. Layers don't like being messed with, but that's okay. So where are you, pumpkin? Oh, let's do this more carefully, shall we? Go ahead and color this guy in. So to copy a color in ZBrush, you just hover over the color you want and press C. And that will update the color that you have selected right here. So pay attention. C, 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 C. Alright, so I'm just going to copy the color of this pumpkin. I'm going to select this and I'm going to say color, fill object. Boom. There we have another orange pumpkin. I'm going to make it tiny. This dynamic thickness is great. Now I don't have to go into ZModeler and extrude. Yes, it's a brand new feature actually that came out with ZBrush 2021. I can't wait for augmented reality to blow up. I'm just gonna kind of duplicate this bad boy here, but hide one of them. Just kind of like, you know, do a pumpkin thing to it. I'm gonna actually increase the stem. Anna, do you play a lot of games? Who do you think will win the game of the year? I think it's gonna be Hades, probably because of the hype. Unless that wasn't this year, I wouldn't know. I don't play it. I don't play a lot of games. I play games once a week. Nowadays, I used to play it 0 times a week before. So right now I play, during that once a week time, I play either Payday 2, no, Payday 3, I think. I don't know which version of Payday. Payday. I play Among Us lately. It's kind of fun. I like it. It's worth the hype. It deserves the hype, I gotta say. I'm gonna take the blob brush on this bad boy here. So it matches the other pumpkin, you know. And let's see what else I do. I played a little bit of Ooblets when the beta came out. I'm thinking about Baldur's Gate. I really want to play it, but I don't know if I should wait until the final game comes out. Either way, I will play it. make this one warty. Little pumpkin minions. How about pumpkin leaves? Yes, we can do that. Actually, I have it ready to go. The reference for that too. Nice pumpkin. Thank you, Sukazma. Welcome. I got this dirt, small rocks, maybe some wood or vines in addition to the small pumpkins. I'm gonna do rocks. And pumpkin leaves. What software is this? This is ZBrush. It's the industry-leading software when it comes to digital sculpting for games, entertainment, 3D printing, movies and stuff. That bunny though. I love it. I'm not supposed to love my own work, but I love that bunny. I would say ZBrush has a learning curve, but it's not too bad. It's not too bad. I felt comfortable about 3 months after starting. I don't know if you consider that to be a high learning curve or not. Okay, so rocks. Some cheap little rocks. Let's color the ground first into like a brown color. So I'm going behind here. Texture math off. I'm going to color it black again. Color fill objects. And then this time I'm going to color it with like a brown color. I actually didn't have to do that. I think I can just use this new feature from like 2020, I think. Which if you go to Polypaint, you can go to adjust colors. And then from there, you can... Actually, I think white doesn't really work for this. Yeah, that's not the exact color I wanted. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do what I was doing before, which was to take off the texture map and just go ahead and paint it. So I'm going to paint it black again, document our color fill objects, and then I'm going to take the paintbrush and just kind of fill it. I'm making it irregular this time. It's gonna be more fun that way. New from Polypaint. Let's see how this kind of feels. A little bit better. Hey, happy Halloween. Hi, Mike. Thank you so much. Have you had the chance to try the class simulation features yet? Any thoughts on it? Yes, I did. I actually participated in the beta for ZBrush 2021, and I used a lot of the class simulation, and I love it. Like, it's really good to just try it out. And like, you know, I made an entire dress with it and a bunch of other stuff. I can actually show you guys. If I go to my ArtStation, my profile, this. So I made so much of this with the class simulation, even stuff that you wouldn't know, but the whole dress like kind of has class simulation. I modeled it flat upwards, like kind of like parallel to the floor, and then had the class simulation kind of drape it over her, add stuff like this right here, like this cloth thing on the statue, this class sim, and a bunch of other little things too. I used it on the snakes, but you can barely tell. It'd be great if you could make spider webs using new claw simulation. You can do that, yeah. You can absolutely do that. I think Steven Anderson has done it before, and I've seen him do it. Nice, that dress looks really great. Thank you, Quix. I'm gonna just kind of, we were gonna do rocks, right? I'm just gonna do rocks the same color as the ground here. Let's go ahead and append a new sphere. I'm gonna take my trim dynamic, take off symmetry. Oh, I guess turn on symmetry on accident and take it off. It's kind of turning it into a more rock-like, less round shape. Go ahead and solo this. I can focus on it. I'm gonna actually divide it up a little bit. You can get better, crisper detailing here. Just with my trim dynamic, refining those edges. Incrível, obrigada. What's the difference between inserting and appending a mesh? Inserting will insert it into the same subtool. Appending will append it as a new subtool. I believe that's the difference. That's my favorite thing to sculpt. Animals. É possível mudar a direção de luz no ZBrush? Sim. Você tem que ir aqui no Lights e aí você pode mudar a direção. Tá vendo esse trocinho laranja, essa bolinha laranja? Você pode só pegar e arrastar ela e ela é meio que a direção da sua luz. I'm going to open here the light box. I'm going to go to brush. Trim, there you go. Trim smooth borders is what I want. I want to change it to spray, and that will help add some cool rockness to this rock. You know, the rocknessness that you all need. But also, like, I don't really want to be overthinking this rock because it's not important in the sculpt. Clean up some of the edges here. Alright, now let's turn off solo. Make it tiny. And then later I'll spread it around. What tablet do you use? I just use a Wacom Intuos tablet, one of the cheap ones, in a size medium. It's really not important, but it doesn't have a screen. Good to see you at the ZBrush Summit last year. So looking forward to the next one. Yeah, you are. It was good to see you too. Like, I'm very excited for the next one, and you know, just unfortunate that we can't do the summit, like this year, like we did last year. You know. Adjusting this a little bit. Um, who here is going to participate in the live ZBrush Sculpt Off? I'm very excited. I might participate. We will see. I'm gonna go ahead and like up the poly paint game on this pumpkin just a little bit. I think I'm gonna do some like redder dots. Maybe like smooth this towards a red. Not really red. It's just a redder. See how that looks. I wish I had ZBrush to participate. Oh, I'm sure you can get, there's rentals, there's also trials, there's also ZBrush Core, there's a bunch of options. Você já fez live ensinando a fazer roupas nesse novo ZBrush? Eu acho que sim, é muito tempo. Acho. Não, sim, é muito tempo assim, né? Nem saiu há tanto tempo atrás, mas na época que saiu, acho que eu fiz uma live. Eu fiz um capuz com cachorro. Speaking of rocks, I remember when Dwayne The Rock Johnson came to ship rock. Martin, I want to participate, but I feel a little intimidated by the amount of great artists that will participate. I will do my best, though. You got this. It's not about winning, right? It's about just doing your best, getting some exposure in the process. Qual a diferença do move e snake hook? O move, ele tenta sempre chegar ao seu brush com uma linha reta, enquanto o snake hook, ele meio que se curva. De novo, eu fiz o mesmo movimento, eu puxei e fui para um lado e pro outro. Aqui o move. When is the sculpt off taking place? There's a link right in chat, just a little bit above your question. You can click it and you'll get the info. Although right now the Pixologic website seems to be down, and I actually don't know the information. What are some of my favorite ZBrush artists? I like so many, like it's like hundreds. It's up? To me, it still says it can't be reached. In the hundreds. Zilang Zhu is a good one. Amazing one, rather. Let me pull them up for you guys. It's easier than to try to say everybody's name, because everybody's name is hard to say. I think her. I really like this person's work. Asel Kozireva. Beautiful work, very interesting. Zilong. Shu. Amazing work. He does sculptures in China. I think he prints them out and like they're like wildly marketed. He's one of my favorite ZBrush artists of all time. I think I don't necessarily become so attached to the artists themselves. I become attached to specific pieces. So if you ask me what my favorite pieces were, I'd be able to answer a lot easier. Você podia fazer uma live ensinando a fazer cabelo, ia ser bem legal. Talvez um dia. Você costuma usar algum brush pra fazer cabelo? Eu costumo usar hair cards, então é bem mais complicado do que algum brush. Oh, Donna, I've been watching a lot of our folk Rossetti lately. Yeah, don't they have amazing work? Those are just two of like the 100 that I like the most. But I guess right now I'm just really into their work. Okay. I'm gonna drink some coffee and then focus back on the work. I guess I gotta take some of that grass out of the inside of the mouth here. I'm gonna spread some more pumpkin minions around. Starting to get a little heavy. A topologia é necessária para animação 3D ou somente jogos? Sim, ela é necessária. Porque a gente não faz topologia só para diminuir a quantidade de polígonos. A gente faz para criar uma topologia limpa para poder ser deformada. E a animação é deformação. Então, sim. What happened here? Slightly bigger one. Whenever I'm doing composition, I always avoid even numbers. Like, so having just 2 side pumpkins doesn't really work for me. I need to have 3. That creates more imbalance, but like in a good visual way is more pleasing to the eye. But I do need to do something about the fact that I have so many polys on screen that it's dying. Eu estou estudando fazendo curso. Com 7 aulas e ainda nem comecei, não sei nem como fazer 1% de ação. Por isso que você está no curso, né? Quando você terminar o curso, você vai saber muito mais. Essa é a beleza do curso. Tá começando a ficar engraçadinho. Yeah, I'm gonna go solo on this rock. I'm going to decimate this rock. Z plugin, decimation master. Where are you? Reprocess currents. Eu tô aprendendo sobre as ferramentas e ainda tô doido pra começar a fazer modelos. If your facial likeness can be used as a video game character, what game would you like to be in? And what kind of character would you be? The Witcher. And I would like to be a witch. I like how easy that was to answer for me. Deep-seated desires, all exposed. I love the witches in The Witcher. Now I'm going to create a insert mesh brush. Create insert mesh, new brush. Maybe from different angles too. Pressing the M key while insert mesh brush is actually... So basically I'm going around to different angles of the brush and appending them to my insert mesh brush so that I can just drag them on as necessary. Here's an append. Okay. Okay, so now let's go back here to not solo. And I'm just going to... Whoa! That's not what I want to do. Okay, so I'm just kind of gonna use my new brush to just start putting in some rocks. And then I'll push them into the ground later. And by using M, I can select which one I want at any given time. These are like way too big. Let's use the first one. Make some little ones. Too little, too little. It's kind of like charcoal has been left around the pumpkin here, but you know what? It's fine for me. Changing. This is why we decimated this, so that we could actually do this without ZBrush dying on us. I'm just kind of pushing it down lower into the ground so they look more natural. And then I'm going to create more. I'm going to make all of these into one single poly group, and then I'm going to keep going with a new poly group. And I'm just going to make little ones this time. Whoop. And push these into the ground. Whoop. I need to decimate these little pumpkins before my computer explodes. Also, I haven't saved this whole time. That's not smart. I can totally see you in The Witcher. I think I would make a great Witcher witch. Gerald, get out of here. Spell. I'm pretty sure that's not how you're supposed to say his name, but like, I played the entire game, right? And I called him Gerard the whole time. I'm like, God, every single time I try to kill this dragon, I kill Gerard. Renato, suas artes são excepcionais. Você está de parabéns. Obrigada, Renato. I've been watching works and they're amazing. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. I don't want to be Yennefer from The Witcher. I hate Yennefer. I think she is the worst character to ever character. I really don't like Yennefer. I do like the one blonde witch. You know the one I'm talking about? Hello, in chat. You did something with your hair, or I never noticed. I did something with my hair, but like months ago. When using my brushes, there's a way to that while inserting randomly inserts dynamically from the list. Yes, there is a way. I just don't know exactly how to do it right now. I would have to look it up and kind of starting to get in the rush. I'm not gonna do it right now, but yes, there's definitely a way. So I'm gonna go ahead and decimate these little pumpkins, and then push them into the ground too. So I got a pre-process currents. Você já se modelou assim? Na minha época de faculdade eu tentei fazer um modelo de mim mesmo, mas assim, não saiu bem. Why is Rabbit black? Because I made it black. What's wrong with Yennefer? I think she's really boring. I don't know, she's just like trope of a sassy female character. She doesn't have a lot of depth for me. Let me turn the question back to you guys. If you guys were in a video game, which one would you like it to be? And not you in the video game. I mean, like your likeness was in a video game. Which one would you like it to be? Do you like the Netflix Witcher series? I loved the Netflix Witcher series. And the Yennefer on that series was actually like my favorite character. But I'm talking about the game, and I just did not like Yennefer in the game. I feel like Yennefer in the show and Yennefer in the game are two completely different characters. Why is the rabbit in the pumpkin? Sorry for asking stupid questions. Oh, because it looks cute. And if you were a rabbit and you saw a little pumpkin like this, wouldn't you get excited and go inside? Although, God of War. If you make a character in ZBrush, do you prefer to make their hair with mesh or XGen? So if I'm making it for games, I do it with hair cards. And then I just use deformers to put them all over the place. Sorry about this moment, like we're just kind of letting the decimate do its thing. We have a lot of polygons, so it's gonna take a while. I'm thinking of the Netflix Witcher and not the games. Yeah, so like that's why we are all disagreeing on whether or not Yennefer is awesome, and that's because she's awesome in the show. I'm told I look like Superman, so I'm not sure. That's never a bad thing, right? Somebody comes up and tells you you look like Superman. I feel like Superman is like just a cartoon embodiment of the exact male beauty standards, if that makes sense. Kind of like who would be the exact female beauty standard embodiments. Like Barbie. This looks very cute. Thank you, not far, T. I'm so sorry this is taking so long. Maybe I should just skip it and do it when I'm not streaming. I'll do that. Right, what else can I do? I still have plenty of time. Peaky Blinders? Peaky Blinders, that's not a game. Or is it? Am I missing it? It's that. I wouldn't mind being a character in Pokemon. I think people who live in the Pokemon universe have it good. So you get to go around, collect monsters, force them to fight. I feel like I would do very well in that world. So let's do the pumpkin leaf now. I'm gonna turn this off, and I'm gonna take off these two because they're a little heavy. I'm also gonna get rid of this random one here. I'm gonna go ahead and just clean up my project a little bit so that it's not quite as taxing on my PC. Gonna get rid of the bonus bunny here. Alright. Now I only have the things I need. I'm gonna move these pumpkins kind of like downwards towards that they're a little lower on the ground. Just like that. I've been near Automata. I get to listen to amazing soundtrack every day. Don't you think that it would get tiring to listen to the same soundtrack every day? And it hasn't. So are there any ZBrush features on your wish list that hasn't come out yet? Yeah, I would like to be able to plug my brain into ZBrush directly and just have it sculpt for me, just perfectly, exactly what I want it to do. Although that probably wouldn't be fun. Like, yeah, everybody would have amazing sculpts, and like there would be no point. It hasn't launched yet, but I would be a character in Cyberpunk just to be a cyborg. Alright, so what did I say I was gonna do? Pumpkin leaf. So here in my reference board, I have this wonderful pumpkin leaf. I think I'm going to import into ZBrush and then work from it. So let's see how it goes. Let's see. I don't remember exactly how to do this though. I've done it before. So let me pull up my notes. All right. Oh yes, the alleged ZBrush Neuro Sculpting feature. I've heard all about that. Okay, let me just go ahead and search for pumpkin leaf. Leaf. Images. This is the one I want. I'm not gonna like use this in my final product. I just want to use it to get the outline in ZBrush, so I'm just gonna use it as reference. I am going to make a plane, maybe a new plane. So no, I'm just gonna pin the plane, whatever. Plane 3D. I'm gonna go ahead and change my color to white here so it's not as gray. Alright, so now I'm going to go to texture, imports, and I'm gonna go find my leaf. It's loading, loading, loading. I'm gonna go here to texture map and select my leaf. Boom, now I have a little leafy. It's got Shutterstock or whatever all over it. It's fine. I'm just using it for reference. Gonna make that a little bit smaller, you know. I'm going to hide my leaf actually. Then I'm going to take a ZBrush screenshot of this project as it is, so you guys can continue to see what I'm working on up here. Shift S. And I'm going to do leaf and solo. It's a little easier to work. If I had to pick a character from a game that I really like, I would choose Scorpion from Mortal Kombat. Not that I want to live in that universe. Favorite comic book character has to be the Flash. Like, that's the thing, right? Like, all of these universes, they're cool, but like they're normally under grave danger, you know? Masking. Mask by color. Mask by hue. Oh, let's go ahead and divide this plane up like a bunch of times. Let's try again. Mask by hue. It's still a little bit pixelated. That's good enough, whatever. How do I sharpen a mask? Does anybody know? Oh, sharpen mask right here. Ubuntu universe is kind of fine, nice. The thing is that, like, you know, they're still in beta, or they were at least, and when I played, and so you know how it is. Like, it got a little boring after a while, so I think from texture, I'll go ahead and say texture map off. It's already off. Mask. Trying to see if it's actually doing it right. It's not, so I'm just gonna by hands go ahead and mask this thing. My mask pen. Not perfectly symmetrical, but you know what? I think it's fine. I think it's better to like go under. I'm gonna switch to mask lasso. It's a little easier to use. things like this. I'm just kind of focusing on one side at a time. So now I'm going to take symmetry off. I'm going to fill this in here. Again, better to undermask than to overmask in this scenario. And I'm going to refine, make it more interesting anyway. All right. Then I am going to invert this. I actually know now what I was looking for before. It was the hide PT. Now we have the beginnings of a leaf here. I'm going to actually like sculpt on it and like poly paint over it. So like this texture doesn't really matter right now. What's the difference between ZBrush rendering and Maya rendering? Which one do you prefer? So I don't think I can tell you the exact difference. Like in ZBrush, you know, you can do VPR. In Maya, you can have more control over the lights and stuff like that. I don't use Maya for rendering whatsoever. I use Unreal, Marmoset, ZBrush, or Keyshots. And that's it. Little Big World is a pretty chillax universe to live in. Thank you, Samu. Can you remember the first character you made in ZBrush? Yes, actually, I recently showed it. I'll show you guys later. It was this dinosaur and it looked really bad. Modify topology. Fully hidden. Let's kind of take the standard and just start. Oh, by the way, trick for leaves, like you see how like it's a plane and you can't see the other side. If you go to display, properties, double, now you can see the side and you can actually sculpt from the other side too. I'm just gonna kind of take the move brush, make it more, a little bit more lively and dynamic here. And I'm just gonna give it an overall shape. Start to give it an overall shape anyway. You can also use the formers that would be good for this too. Upturning these corners to make them look cute. And of course I can change this based on leaf by leaf cases. Oh, I made this corner like way too high. So I'm going to take the poly paint off. Start kind of densify this. I'm going to follow the poly paint though. If I wasn't in such a rush, I would try to get more creative with this. But, you know how it is. Start adding little ones in there. I don't want to get like too much detail in here because, you know, it's not supposed to be a super noisy area of the piece. I'm gonna take my poly paint, choose a color. It's not, I don't want it to be too bright. I want it to be like closer to the stem color. Start poly painting this back right here. Now, it's not perfect by any means, but you get a lot of the job done. Especially because it's gonna be tiny, right? So it doesn't have to be perfect. I'm just gonna work on some parts of it to make it slightly less lumpy. Gostei da forma que você fez essa folha, obrigada. I guess I'll take some more poly paint, make the edges either brighter or less bright. Let's see what I want. Actually, don't want an alpha too much. I'm gonna go towards teal. Almost. Alright, I think I'm ready to place it around. I don't even have stems, but maybe I should add stems. I don't have stems, but maybe I should add stems. Okay, so let's add stems. Geometry, what do I want to use for stems? Maybe I'll just pen something. No, I'm gonna insert the lowest one possible. Just here. Brush in like the edges here. Let's make that smaller. Truly, like, this is going to be almost invisible to the final piece, so. I'm just going to bring it slightly underneath. Just trying so hard to get it underneath. I kind of want that to be same color, but okay, not the same color, less saturated by a lot. Alright, so now we got our little leaf. Let's go ahead and decimate. Important step. Actually, I think I'm gonna lose my I might lose my poly paint in that, and that's fine. It's honestly not special in any way, so we'll see. Reprocess currents. Você é português? Não, brasileira. Do you teach me if I want to learn from you? Well, I teach in these streams, and also I'm considering starting a private mentorship where you can come and be my mentoree. I'm giving serious consideration to getting Keyshot. It looks pretty cool. There's a version of Keyshot that's cheaper that connects directly with ZBrush, which I wish I had bought instead of the real one. That's technically incrível. Do you photograph textures and import it to ZBrush? I used to back in the day. I don't anymore, just because, you know, I haven't been in the mood, I guess, for years. How many polys has this become? Whoa, way too much. What happened here? Okay, let's push it farther. Staple again. Decimate percentage. Let's go like 2%. It's a little bit better, right? A little more. Till it cannot go anymore. Okay, it's a little bit better, I think. Alright, let's go ahead and poly paint it again. Color, fill objects. And then I'm gonna go like with a slightly brighter green, which I want to copy from here. then a yellower, more saturated green for the edges. All right, looks really low poly, but that's so it's easier to add it around. So I'm gonna take off this it's perfect right in the middle, right where it is right now. So let's go ahead and start placing some leaves. Okay, it needs to be way more saturated than this, so I'm gonna go ahead and make it so. Right now I'm just gonna put this one. I'll go ahead and hide all this extra stuff. We don't need it. Just a pumpkin and maybe the grass. Okay, so that's there. I'm going to go ahead to poly paint, adjust colors, and I just want the saturation to go up a little bit. Like that. Okay. Just so it stands out from the stem. Maybe a little bit more, actually. There it is. I also tried one extra out here for the other pumpkins. Control, and then I'm going to kind of take the move brush and just give it a little bit of personality over here. Let's bring the baby pumpkins back. They need leaves. The baby pumpkins, I swear, they are like chugging. I tried to decimate them earlier, but it was not possible. Is it that these leaves are being difficult? Just gonna make sure that they're like angled all like way different or something, so that they don't look like they're just copies of each other too much, you know? Does the sound go off? No, there should be sounds, ideally. She seems like a fun person to work with, very laid back, knowledgeable, and easygoing. That's what I try to be. I don't know though. Grass looks awesome. Thanks. It's just default ZBrush grass, actually. Ela precisa de mais um dia. Vou estar trabalhando com 3D também. Você consegue, Estácio? Can't you just remesh the baby pumpkins? So they were like freezing up, so I stopped trying. But I can, yeah. I wanted to decimate them, really. I'm gonna try decimating them again now that we have a little bit of time. I'm just gonna do solo. Well, I should have them selected, actually. Refresh is current. Meanwhile, we can just talk a little bit. Do you guys have any questions for me? You're loving the pumpkins. IR Sculptor, thank you. you're gonna see the renders that you use. Which one do you like the best? It depends on the look I'm going for. I've been really liking the ZBrush built-in ones because it's so fast and so easy, but if I want more control, I tend to go for Unreal. So it turned out so good. Is there anything more you need to do to it? Not really, like now I'm just kind of refining. I feel like I need to remake the grass. The grass looks a little bad. So we can do that after the ZBrush is done. Do you like the new dynamics cloth features? Yeah, I love them. They're really fun. Danielle, this is a masterpiece. The artwork and you. Thanks. How long have I been working in ZBrush? Today or forever? I've been 6 years or so. And today for 2 hours. And 40 minutes. Do you use any other DCC? What do you do for a living besides streaming for Pixologic? I am a technical artist in the VR industry and a college professor. I just started being a professor 2 months ago, so I'm new. Are you currently working for a studio, just doing independent work and remixture? Yes, so I just said that, and yeah. So I work a lot. What does it take to be a technical artist for VR? So technical art is a very complex topic because it is very how do I put it? It's very varied. So 100 technical artists can all be called a technical artist and not do the exact same thing. So usually what it takes is a good knowledge of game engines, a good knowledge of game development, a great knowledge of the 3D art pipeline, and then technical know-how of a lot of things like optimization and also some programming or a lot of programming, depending on exactly where on the spectrum you fall on technical arts. Usually Python is a good one to know. A lot of technical artists focus on optimization or creating tools for other artists, like custom tools for Maya, or breaking ends, that kind of stuff, or general problem solving, creating workflows, like designing the workflow for all the other artists. Did it work? Did it work? Did it work? Did it work? There are so many things you can do as a technical artist. For me, it means a lot of things. For me, it means a whole lot of things. I do tool programming, so much optimization. I do a little bit of raking, but I'm not crazy at it, like crazy good at it yet. I just haven't done a lot of it, you know. I actually do gameplay scripting a lot. In blueprinting and Unreal, actually, it's where I do my gameplay scripting. It's kind of like the core of what I'm teaching right now. In fact, I do problem solving, debugging, just generally speaking, and a bunch of other little goodies. Okay, there we go. There it is animated. All it took was patience. Let's go ahead and recover the missing color, which was really simple before. So I'm just gonna go ahead and copy the color from the big pumpkin, fill object. Maybe make it a little darker, actually. Fill up, no. Me sitting here trying to get the perfect orange on these pumpkins. Like that, it's okay. Then I'm gonna copy off the color from the stem and try to get stem colored. Oh, I guess I lost my poly paint. Okay, no worries. I'm just gonna paint them in for now as a placeholder. Yay! It's a little bit darker too. Perfect. Perfection. Now let's see what it looks like with all the other things back in. So let's just redo the grass now. and then give some texture on the ground. Maybe ground texture should be first. What do you teach at school? So I teach a plethora, well, I will teach a plethora of things. Generally, I teach for two majors, game arts and VR development. So I teach game design, level design. I'm going to teach 3D modeling one day, maybe ZBrush one day, technical arts, project management even. A little bit of everything. Everything I know about game development and VR developments and arts generally. Thank you, Scott Pappy. Yes, I'm gonna hide the grass that I don't like. Oh wait, I was gonna do the ground first. Get to that. Light buildup. Just. I guess it's just not high poly enough to be really that good to sculpt, you know. Take symmetry up. I'm just gonna start putting a little something something. Trying not to cover up my little rocks though. So whenever I do, I'm just kind of taking off some of my clay buildup and just. Very cool, thank you. Oh my gosh, look at that bunny, so cute. I had a good time modeling it. It was funny to do. I'm gonna give this ground a little bit of maybe like some normal clay brush, maybe like some spray with some random alpha on it. Oh, but very weak. Too strong, too strong. Just to make it bumpy, you know? In a more organic way, so it looks like mud. Does it look like mud to you guys? And just giving it more height in the back. Hey Nina, how are you? Welcome to the stream. As far as good body topology for animation or deformation, what are some good references and resources you would suggest online? Well, there's this like PDF book that you can buy that has a great like workshop for topology, but also I hear that the Poly Flipped Normals YouTube channel has a good one, good video on that. I feel like the bunny needs to be slightly less symmetrical. I'm just gonna come in here. We have the bunny selected. Let's look at the poly grouping. I just want to make this ear separate from the other one. So I'm gonna just go ahead and select the bunny and I'm gonna say polygroups auto. In that way, this ear will be separate. ridiculous. I love it. Douglas, sensacional. Just a little bit. Look at those little pumpkins. They are little pumpkins. Guys, I have 10 minutes left on my stream, so if you have any questions or you want to bring something up, do it now, alright? Or you can follow me on social media and ask me there. Let me go ahead and get you guys the links now that I'm thinking about it straight. There it is. My links are in chat. They should be in all the chats. If you are enjoying my work and you want to see more of my streaming and my work, follow me on either Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, ArtStation, all of them. That's also a great way to reach out to me. I also put in my Discord link, which is a free server where people hang out, especially when I'm offline. We share tips and tricks, we network, we share resources, tutorials, we show off our work and get feedback on it. So make sure to join that. And then lastly, I have my YouTube channel where I'm about to start posting YouTube videos. I stream every single Sunday at 5 p.m. Central Time on my Twitch channel, which is in the chat, but also it's called Anna Carolina Arts, just like it's on the screen right there. Yeah. What is the decided name for the bunny? It's the most important question of the stream. Oh yeah, they chose Oreo already. The bunny is called Oreo. So let's redo the grass, and then I think I will be done. Not my worst speed sculpt ever. It's kind of cute. If I can say so myself. You know what I mean? So I just want the grass to be a little bit less, and a little bit less intrusive. But I'm also keeping the old one just in case. So for those of you curious of how I did the grass, missed the first time, let's take a look again. So I'm going to do fiber mesh, light box. I'm going to select beads. I'm going to close lightbox, and this is what it looks like by default. It's not exactly what I want. So I'm going to do max fibers way less. I don't want that many, you know, I don't want like a whole wheat garden here. Length, let's bring that way down. Well, too far, too far. Then take the width coverage up a little bit higher. I don't know if I like this one either. And then from there, I'm just gonna accept, and then kind of use like snake hook or something to just create a better composition with it. You know, just kind of. I actually like the old one more now, but I've seen the new one. The new one has too many back here, I think. What do you guys think? The old one or the new one? Here's the new one. Here is the old one. Oreo the bunny. Oreo and the plumpy plumpkins. But yes, let me go ahead and just kind of clean up the old one if I'm gonna keep it, and just kind of take it off so that it's not going through things. That would be lame, right? I think the old one works compositionally. Yeah, I think so. It was way better compositionally, better framing for the piece. So now I just kind of have to like render it. I'm gonna add a little glow on the inside of the pumpkin. And then I'll be done. This was fun. So I was showing earlier the one I made last time, the last pumpkin creature I made. This one's more like a pumpkin demon than anything. Which has a special place in my heart anyway. But yeah, this one's kind of cute. Because it has the bunny. It has Oreo in it, you know. Alrighty guys, any last topics or questions before I go? Happy Halloween! I'm not like done 100% yet. I'm gonna stay around for 3 more minutes while you guys ask questions or say something. Yeah, I can't wait for Halloween, although I'm gonna spend it the same way I've spent every day. Just here at home, doing nothing. Waiting for the pandemic to go away. How about you guys? How are you gonna spend Halloween? I'm going to go ahead and adjust this again. I'm gonna make it even more saturated, but this time I'm going to make it lighter as well. So that it stands out a little bit more from the background. Like that. Let's make it a little bit smaller. Very cute. How's Florida going for you? I might mull some wine. Florida's going well. Like, I haven't seen much of it, I'm gonna be honest. I mean, I've been to Florida before, but ever since I moved here because of Corona, I just haven't done much. So, yeah. I'm happy. Like, I'm not sad. I'm just like so tunnel visioned. You know, like I get tunnel vision, and so I'm just thinking about the job and not much else. I'm gonna do the same thing for Halloween, but probably with mulled wine or pumpkin beer and some spooky movies. Spooky movies are a must. My family and I have a few movies planned for this Halloween. Yeah, which ones? Okay, I got worried there for a second. Take care of yourself, Anna. I know. I will. I am. Is YouTube not working? Okay, I think it is. Alright, so guys, last time, if you are enjoying the Pixologic channel, make sure to follow it on whatever platform you are watching from. So many amazing artists stream on this platform, okay? So make sure to follow the Pixologic stream. Almost every day there's a stream, so make sure to follow it. I am going to post my own links here in case you want more of my content. Follow me on social media if you want to reach out to me, get a response back, or just keep up to date with my art, any tutorials I might put out, my streaming schedule, and all that good stuff. I have my own Twitch channel called Anna Carolina Art where I stream every single Sunday, ZBrush, at 5 p.m. Central Time, and we have like a big friendly community over there of artists of all walks of life. I am streaming tomorrow, and I'm going to be doing a challenge on my stream of Sculptober. Tomorrow's the Oni challenge, so stop by, sculpt along with us, and then everybody who does gets a shout out on my Twitter and Instagram. It's not much, but you know, it's fun to do, and you know, it doesn't hurt. So we will be there at Anna Carolina Arts on Twitch, streaming tomorrow at 5 p.m. Central. Make sure to join the Discord that I just linked in chat, which is like a server where we hang out offline, we share tips and tricks, we network and all that good stuff. We get critiques for free from artists on there, and my YouTube where I'm about to start posting tutorials. Guys, thank you so much for coming. Have a lovely weekend. Stay safe. Wash your hands. Do all the good stuff, alright? And have a great weekend and a very productive and yet not stressful week.